All right, we're here back with It's Time Podcast with Sam Nunez,
DJ Young Sam,
and Christopher Lopez.
Oh, we got this special guest, and this special guest is Leon and Lorenzo from Daddy Unite.
Welcome,
yes,
welcome,
man.
All the way from California.
All the way from California, right?
Yes, sir.
California, man. So share with us, man. What is the, what's the whole Daddy Unite about? What is this all about?
Daddies Unite is basically, it's a movement that I started because I know a lot of dads who don't have custody, like any type of custody, and they don't know the process, to go about getting custody, because we're all told, you in the neighborhood, where we're from, most women just control everything. Yeah. That's what you see for the most part, or they think they're in control, but really we're all. Granted, we all should have 50-50 custody.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
right.
Like, if you go to court, they're going to give you 50-50. Mm-hmm. That's, unless you did something to not deserve it, or to take, to shoot yourself in the foot. Other than that, we're all, So that's what it is a movement to help other fathers come together, support each other. And when you see a whole bunch of dads together, and you're not involved with your kids, it's gonna make you want to, like, oh man, I miss my son, or I miss my daughter. Like, oh, look at them, oh man, like it's inspiring to see. So that's part, like half of the reason why I started it, and it's a lot to it, but we'll get into it.
Yeah. So is it like meetings that you have, like different conferences you do?
So we haven't had a conference yet, but we had a meet and greet in Oakland, California. And we had like over 300 dads come out, and we met at Lake Merritt, real nice area. So about 300 dads.
300 dads?
300 dads came out.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
And it was amazing. And we just connected and just socialized by the lake, and talked and networked. Man, that's what it was all about. And then COVID hit, like not even 2 weeks later. So I haven't had a physical event since then.
Are you planning to have another one?
Yeah. So, but I live in LA, so it's a little more dangerous to have a whole bunch of dads come, because they might be Bloods, it might be Crips, or they might be this, or they might be that, and then the moms be crazy out there. So it's a little, you gotta kind of
strategic.
You gotta do it strategically. Exactly.
Strategic meetup.
It's strategic. Yeah, we gotta do it. It gotta be strategized.
So what? Like when you're going through the process of becoming like a primary custodial father, what made you? Did somebody inspire you to do it? Did somebody show you how to do it? Or was it something that you just said, I'm going to try and just do this because I feel like this is the best opportunity for what we have as a child together, and pursue that? How did that come to be when you were thinking about the opportunity to even pursue like custodial parent?
So for me, I grew up without my dad. So I already made a promise to myself, and that really hurt me. That led me to gang banging and doing like a whole lot of stupid stuff that I shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And and that was my excuse.
Yeah.
I used that as a crutch. Oh, I'm not just because my.
Yeah.
Then I grew up and was like, I can't use this as an excuse. I got to use it as motivation.
Right.
So that's when I was like, once he was like a few weeks old, I was like, she started playing games. Like, okay, we were on and off. When we were together, I see him all the time. Yeah. And then we get in an argument. I'm like, well, I only see my son, so let me get back on her good side. Yeah. I was like, why am I playing this game, man? Well, I'm not playing this game. And my cousin was a lawyer.
Right.
He is a lawyer, but he was a family lawyer back then. So he gave me like a few keys, and then my auntie's a paralegal, so she did all the paperwork for me. So I was like, you know what? Let me go in the fight. Everybody was like, man, that's your only kid, man. Like, you'll be a great dad. You got to be there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go in and do it. So once he did the paperwork, I went to court and I filed, and then that's when I literally fought for him for 6 years.
Yeah.
And
so it's a process.
It is. It's a process.
Figuring it out.
Doesn't the state favor the woman than the male?
I'm not even gonna push that narrative, man.
Yeah.
It's not. It's only.
What's the best interest for the child?
They really care about from my when I first started, I had braids. Most of my life I had braids. I had braids, tattoos. You know what I'm saying? I never went to court with like the suit. I never did that. I just had my Dad's Unite shirt on, hoodie, whatever, and I went to court like that. And they can look at me until I'm you look at me until I'm from the hood, to be honest. So, but it wasn't about that. It was about how I carried myself in there, what I talked about, my mission, what my focus was, and I had the best interests of him, and they saw that, you know.
Right.
But the only reason it went so long is because she kept trying to get her custody back.
Yeah.
You know, I immediately got 50-50.
Right.
But she wanted to give. She kept losing custody and wanted to get more back. She kept losing custody and wanted to get more back. Kept losing custody, and now he's legally under my supervision. I'm the primary parent.
Yeah.
So he lives with me, but we just have joint 50-50 custody.
Right.
Legal. But now I got to go to court on the 20th to get. I'm going for full flat out everything.
Yeah.
So.
And I noticed that it's like we both have custody of our boys. I mean, not my girls, but our kids, right? So we found out that I've noticed that once you get custody, like that's where everything begins, and it causes a lot of heartache and turmoil for the mother, right? But it also gives an opportunity to kind of like start a process of. I think a lot of people see like, oh, well, she didn't let me see my kid, right? But then you start allowing, you know, and having healthy visitations, and I felt like we got to show their mother how to be a better mom and had the opportunity to co-parent better together. Did you see that being as an obstacle or kind of probably an ongoing thing or how would you navigate that differently this time?
That is not my situation at all, bro. It's like she hates me so much that she takes it out on him. Like he suffers because she hates me so much. Like he's an actor, and his agent and manager, like, he got to get a passport because he's up for roles. Hold on, let me talk. He's up for roles for this movie or this TV show, and he can't shoot it without a passport because it's shooting in Italy, it's shooting in Rome, you know. So I notified her. I said, hey, Lorenzo's up for like a movie right now. He needs a passport, and she was like, no, because you're just gonna leave. You're gonna leave the country. I'll never see him again. Mind you, she hasn't seen him in like 3 years already on her own, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, so she doesn't, you know, like she's supposed to get him for Easter, this past Easter. Called, like, hey, I want to see him. I'm like, cool, all right, let's set it up. He has a baseball game on Saturday, though. Can you take me to the baseball game? And she was like, I don't see why I wouldn't. Long story short, I didn't hear from her Friday, Saturday, but Sunday. It's the same thing. You continue to keep my son from me. It's like, it's viewed as I'm keeping him from her. But she has the same rights that I have. You know, we have a court order where she's supposed to get him every other weekend and every Tuesday. Now, if I was keeping her from me, we've been going to court for 6 years. You know how to go to court. You're just not going because you're bitter about losing custody, and he suffers because of it. You know.
So, do you feel like it's right for you to keep him in it, like to let him know exactly what's going on? Because I know a lot of times as adults we feel like I don't want to put my child in this, or I don't want to paint this picture of my child's mother to them. So you try to keep them out of it, but do you feel like it's important that we be honest with our kids and we actually just tell them, hey, if your mama is doing this to me and she's trying to do this or whatever, should we tell the kids, or do you feel like certain things we got to keep them sheltered from?
Well, he's a boy, man. I feel like boys, the rope is a little more. A girl, you got to guard their hard and do all of that. Boy, you got to know, bro, like, you're going to have to go through this one day if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you date wrong.
I feel the same.
You know what I'm saying?
When some people want to keep it sheltered.
I agree with you on that. I would. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know.
I think the biggest thing as a father, so I have 7 kids, right? I have 4 girls and 3 boys. I love having kids. It's the best. So what I've learned, like my oldest were girls, right? So I went through that process, had primary custody and all that stuff. When I had a boy, that was my first time opportunity to, like, I get to heal. I get to raise me differently. And I didn't grow up with my dad there constantly. My dad was present. My dad was going through his own thing. I forgave him, and we grew, and we have a better relationship now. But I got to realize that I got to heal from my childhood by raising my son, the one that's over there. Mm-hmm. And every day it's a new day of healing, right? It's a new thing in front of me. It's holding the mirror to my face and saying, hey, like, you're showing up better than I'm showing up better than him than my dad showed me, but his expectation is so much bigger and better. So I feel like that's the greatest opportunity right there. But it also comes in relationships with his mom, right? I have to show him, like, hey, I was wrong. I didn't talk to her correctly, or I didn't handle our relationship correctly, and he's got to see me heal in front of him. And I think that's the biggest opportunity, is that what we can do as fathers is heal in front of our boys,
right?
Because they're going to see and be better for it.
Right. And let me piggyback off of that. So, Lorenzo, every morning, when we pray, what do we pray for?
We pray for my mom, my sister, my big brother. We pray for everybody.
Yeah. So it's like him knowing, and I tell him, I said, bro, early on, me and your mom both made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And it's because in the beginning it's all emotion.
Yeah.
It's all emotion. In the beginning, your first kid, you don't know how to navigate. You love your kid. It's not, you don't feel like you've been mistreated. So most of the things you do, both parents, is going to be off of emotion.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, I've been going to court for so long, I learned it's not about emotion. It's really about the best interest of your kid. And once I really had him at the top, God and him, as far as what's most important and what's best, I started moving different. My emotions, I put my emotions aside and say this is what it's gonna be, because I do want his mom to be in his life. It's just that she's toxic. It's like, if I want you to go over there, but if she's gonna not take it to your audition and cause you to lose your agent, or you got the tournament, you miss your tournament, now your team look at you as unreliable, then it's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If she don't support anything that he does, and that's like, how can we co-parent if he's been doing something for a year or two, but he booked his first commercial when he was 8 weeks old, and she was on board. You know what I'm saying? Booked the TV show Shameless. He was 1 year old. She was on board, and then when she lost custody, now she don't support all of a sudden because you're not getting any money from it. It's like, come on. So and so it's like basically just learning how to be a man in front of him is important. And he sees me being a man. And even sometimes, like last time we talked, we was out here actually. And she called me, we was driving, and she called me a BAN, a BAN, and he heard that, and I was like, okay. And he didn't hear me call you. I ain't raised my voice to her. I ain't said nothing negative to her. All he sees is me being. Am I meaning your mother?
No, she can't really do nothing for me. I'm 9 years old. She still complains. She says every couple calls, like, I'll see my baby boy when he's 18. Like, what's really the point of saying that?
And it's like, so she goes from, I'll just see him when he's 18, he'll know the truth, and then next moment, you keeping him from. He's like, do you want to see when he's 18, or do you, make up your mind? It's confusing to me, it's confusing to him, because one morning, I miss my baby, you know what I'm saying, because his brother's 18, but his brother don't even live with his mom, he lives with his half-sister's mom in Oakland, been there for 5-6 years, and it's like, if he's the oldest, so if he kind of leaves his mom's house under his own will, it kind of says a lot about my mom. Like, I would never want to live with my sister's mom over my own mom. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, so he sees it for himself. She wanted to take him to his brother, have a prom this weekend coming up, and she was like, I want to take him. It's like, you didn't even get him last week. It's like, I was just like, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna go to court and get full custody. That way, I ain't got to worry about nothing.
And it's hard too when they calling your names and everything. Like I had that thing going with my son's mother, where she talks crazy to me, and I don't even talk back to her. Like, when she talk crazy, I just hang up the phone. Like, I don't go back and forth. And I have to tell my son, I say, you see how your mother talks to me? I say, you don't talk to people disrespectful. Like, you don't disrespect people. Yeah. And I tell him, I say, you see me, I don't say nothing back to her, because the best way to do it is to, like, you don't want to ever come off as being the person that's just talking crazy to his mama and treating his mama that type of way. And one thing I learned from Ray Face, OG of mine, he told me, he was like, man, the way you handle your child's mother, you can look at it as far as you handling your kid the same way. So it's like, I try to be respectful, but when they get disrespectful, I just end the conversations. Like, I can't go back and forth with you and argue with you and curse you out, because it makes me turn into what you are.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And one thing I know for a fact is he's gonna, when he gets older, he's gonna remember what I did. He ain't gonna remember everything I said, but everything he saw me do. My dad used to always, not just my mom, always just remember. He gonna remember that. That's what he saw. Like, this is,
So when I remember like my first day, like getting them, like and going after court and just being like, this is real. And now I have to do like all these things that I wasn't even used to doing, right? Like when you're parenting part-time, it's completely different than full-time. And you're like, I gotta get permanent toothbrushes, I've gotta get like things for their hair, I've gotta get clothes, I gotta enroll them in school. And of course, you know, you might not have everything you need because it wasn't given to you. So like, what was your experience navigating from, you know, pursuing custody and then actually having it given to you in the sense of like, now you're responsible for what the things that you pursued?
To be brutally honest, man, I pretty much had custody of him once I went to court. Once I went to court and got 50-50, he was usually just with me most of the time, you know what I mean? And that was part of the reason why she lost more and more, because I kept proving that he was usually with me anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's like she'll pop in and then be a good mom for a couple months and then pop out and disappear. And all the while he's with me, like, you know, she said, come get him. Can you come give me my son? Give me my son. Like, right. She never said, can you, what you say, can you? I'm on the way, like, you know what I mean. But if I ask her, this weekend, like, I got, like, that's how it's always been from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I kept tallying all of that, and I was able to prove it. Yeah. And she would always say, no, but I have to prove. So it wasn't hard, you know, to do that. Even when I was even homeless when he was alive, and he was maybe like a little under one, you know, and I was sleeping in my car. She's like, you can't get him. I'm like, give me my son. Like, you know, I'll sleep with him in the car before I let you give him to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So he's most of his life he's been with me.
Yeah,
you know
it's real.
Yeah, it's like me and my son. My son's been with me since I think he was like 1 year old. His mom just got up and just, hey, you know what, I'm done. So I just got him. I said, all right, man. I mean, you're gonna stick with me, and I'm gonna raise you. I'm gonna be part of. I'm gonna be your mom / dad and everything, and I'm gonna make sure I take care of you. And you know, I had him since 1 year old. You know, and you know he's good in hands and everything. I remarried and everything, and nice. The one that I remarried, she treats him like if it's her own. Right. So I mean, I tell you what, in the beginning was hard. It was hard for me, especially when I was starting like the company and everything. Man, I was like having the baby. I think I had my that time, I forgot who it was, my secretary. I said, hey man, can you help me out, you know, take care of him and everything, and it was tough. It was very tough. So I have a lot of respect towards women that are single and have kids and that take the full responsibility as a you know, woman / father and everything. But I have a lot of respect towards a man too, because you know it's us as men, you know, we're like supposed the typical one that just gets up and leave the child to the woman and everything. But you know, now these days, man, us men, we're sticking up and say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna fight for my son, and I'm gonna take full custody. And as a point right now, I have full custody of my son and everything. And I tell you what, it's tough, you know. And like, it's not a walk in the park. It's not like when they're sick, you gotta be there. When their tummy hurts, you gotta be there. When they're hungry, you gotta be there. You know, so it's like a full time job.
You gotta learn how to cook, clean,
clean, cook, and I became a chef, a baker.
Bro,
it teaches you a lot. You pretty much grow up with your kid. Like I remember when I split up with my son's mother. Like, I think he was probably like 2 or 3. And I had to go through the process of potty training them. And then, you know how you can get up and just leave and go somewhere. But now you got to find a babysitter, take them to school, bring them home, making sure you got dinner ready. And it's like, man, I'm doing everything that a single mother did. So it's like, it definitely make you have an appreciation for single mothers, because it's not easy. Like, that whole thing saying, hey, I'm finna go out or something, like the only way you can go out somewhere is for a purpose. Like, and when I'm telling people to watch my son, it was like, I gotta go to work. It ain't I'm going to the club or none of them party, because this is the responsibility. But at the same time, it's like the kid need both parents. I feel like a kid definitely need both parents, because the mother comes in and does her thing too. But sometimes us men, we got to be both.
But I guess from my experience was that as much as I wanted the mom to be there, I saw the difference, like not allowing visitation, just, you know, like getting, like obeying the law of visitation. And then you start seeing, you know, them leave with a smile and come back with a frown. And then you start seeing like the grades go from A's to like bees and like, hey, like this just for a week, you know what I mean? Like a 2-day weekend has such an impact on different parenting, right? So I was like, hey, straight A's, come back, B's and C's. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm good. Back to A's, visit. You know, you start seeing the inconsistencies of parenting, and then you try to co-parent, and it's hard because it's not being reciprocated. Like you're showing one thing, and it's not being followed through. So I think it's, you know, I don't know if any of us have the answer to it, right? But I desire it because I think kids deserve to have both parents that are like great. But I think a lot of us, I mean, I don't know everybody else's narrative, but I've never seen a successful relationship in my life. You know what I mean? Like I'm come from generations of divorce, generations of bad parenting, generations of all these things, and all of us in this room are breaking that. And I think it's important that be the narrative of like what we pursue and what we go through, because a lot of people out there, I think they just have the doubt, right? Like what I was given, this is what was shown, this is what I got to be a part of, and just keep it going. And I think as entrepreneurs, maybe that's part of our spirit, right? It's like we're not accepting the generational failures or anything else that was given to us. Like we're breaking everything. And
a generation curse we're breaking.
Yeah, all of them. I'm breaking everything. Like, hey, nothing will exist.
I'm all in for that.
Yeah.
Man, my cousin, I was talking to him yesterday, and he was saying, a lot of the times when we deal with these women, we deal with them when we're not really just fully developed in the mental state. So it's like we'll deal with a woman who's, you've been watching her mother raise her without a father being in the house. And that's a lot of things we got to look at. If she grew up in a household where she didn't even have a father figure and her mama been single, so you got to look back at her. She don't even know what real love looks like.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of time. You got some people, we're not going to say that everybody fall victim to that, but it's very a short span of people, like you say, entrepreneurs, people that want better, but it's some people that's just so stuck in this toxic world. I never had a dad. I never seen what real love is like, so they don't know how a real relationship goes. Like, pay attention to the people who raised them. And that's what I want to tell my son. Like, when you grow up, whatever girl you dealing with, you need to see who raised her before you think you want to go and lock her down, because they minds be gone.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Ultra facts.
Yeah, man. It's this world, like the way the world is going nowadays, a whole lot of toxic stuff going on, and women feeling they don't need men. And when you pushing that agenda right there, like, that's not the agenda to be pushing out to the world or be pushing to your kids. You should be telling your kids that, hey, you need a man in your life just like he need a woman. Like, that's how God made it.
Yeah.
Facts. Big facts.
So you know, my biggest thing is navigating sports, right? Like, we moved to a new place. It's like trying to find the right sports teams, trying to find, like, how the heck do I get my, like,
excuse me.
I'm really that frustrated, right? It's like, how do you find, like, you're a grand champions baseball player. How do you when did you start playing baseball?
I think March.
He started playing baseball March 2022.
Awesome.
And he started out playing Little League, and I coached.
Yeah.
And the team was great. I was a great coach, but it was just, Little League was just like easy. You know, it wasn't challenging enough. So
that was still not the reason that we left. So
yeah. But we're not talking about the reason. We're not talking about the reason right now. I know you want to, but that reason they got into
see what happened was.
Yeah. So anyway, he
but how did you find a team? Like, so, you know, like, I think it's hard sometimes to find good sports teams. I mean, usually, like, one of us will find it, and then we'll like, hey, this is over here. Like, go over here, put your kids in all this.
The basketball team.
It's like a secret. So it's like this secret amongst, like, all the dads know. Like, how did your kid go to the grand champion and do all this stuff? He's like, oh, well, you got to know, like, certain people, get on certain teams and be in the know. It's like,
yeah, it's actually a big challenge. Like, right now, he was just on 2 baseball teams right now, and I just literally yesterday we quit one team. You know what I mean? And it's like it's all about, you know, like, different kids are at different paces. They're at different levels. You know, and although he's only been playing baseball in any type of capacity organized for a year, he's like really good, you know, for his age, and he's small. To be so small and unexperienced, he's really good. So one team, you know, looked at him as, you know, like, the guy, and then the other team is like, oh, you're just another good player on the team. Yeah. And that team was an older team, so he's been playing with 10-year-olds and he's 9. And then the 9-year-old team, they value him. Like he helped them. Like he helped them win their first championship. On Sunday. Like they never even been to a championship game. But he came back his first tournament with them after quitting the other team. They win the championship, their first gold ring, and that's why he brought this one out of all.
Show
of
that
them.
little gold ring right there. Look at that.
Show me
right there. Show right there.
So yeah, Power Rangers.
It is, man.
And then with the other team, the 10-year-old team, they're all good. They get a lot of guest players from different teams to come so they can win championships. And he won like 4 rings with them this year, which is good. It's fun. But he wasn't getting the notoriety. He wasn't getting opportunities that he would that he get when he on the 9. With the 9-year-old team, he's pitching, he's catching, he's third base, second base. He's the leadoff hitter. He's doing all of that with this team. The other team, he's batting last. He's sitting every other inning. It's like it's not at this age. This really doesn't matter. But he's a kid and he wants to get that. So I allow him to go to a team that were good. So they were getting rings, but now it's about your development, man.
Yeah.
And over here, the only way you're going to develop is trial and error, getting your experience. That's the only way you're going to develop. So now we're on the team where he's developing, and they got a ring. So obviously, you know what I mean.
Like, that ring, man. That's what's up.
It's the really
So how did you feel being in that championship? What were you feeling? What were you going through? Can you say like what motivates you, and what did you do when you were when you were batting?
Talk here.
It's really not like the major leagues. It's like every time I step up to that plate, I feel nervous sometimes. Actually, every time.
Because I'll be loud. I'll be like, Joe, sit back and drive. Sit back. He was like, all right, Dad, I know this already, bro. Like,
he's like, I'm nervous about the ball. I'm nervous about my dad. It's like a whole lot going on.
I gotta watch the pitcher. I gotta put on all my gear when my dad's saying get on the fence. Like, it's pressure, and Dad definitely adds some extra.
Yeah.
But so this is the thing. So he
motivates you then.
Yeah.
He gets you motivated.
motivates you.
Or he gets you nervous, or he's like, okay, my dad's yelling, my dad's screaming, all right, Dad, I'm gonna do it.
Put the pressure on you.
So this is what it really is. So he's a handsome kid, right? He's an actor, so he's used to attention, right?
Yeah.
So him knowing that he's that dog on the team, I just bought him an elbow guard, so he put on the elbow guard. He got the leg guard. He put on the leg guard. He got his chain, so he got to make sure his chain is popped out. Yeah. So he's doing all these things that don't even matter. You don't really need it.
You go with style.
It gives you your Riz is what he calls it. So he got his Riz. And he's putting all of this stuff, and then by the time you get out there, it's time for him to get to the plate. You didn't see what the pitcher's throwing. You don't know if he's doing fast, curve. You don't know any of that.
But I'm looking
because you doing all this stuff to get ready to go look good and get a hit. And then you so focused on looking good that you go over there super confident, and then you strike out. So it's like you should have just. You know what I mean? If you didn't have all that time to put on your Riz, you could have got out there and been focused, dialed in, boom. Okay, I know he's strong. I'm about to hit it. Yeah. But that's not his case, and that's my battle with him. You know what I mean? Because we know you're good, but you so focused on looking good too.
But I got a motto. Hey, every time I mess up, I look really good doing it. Really good.
So, what's your favorite subject in school?
Dang, y'all really just changed the subject.
You're in the hot seat now. Favorite subject, go.
I didn't even talk about it. My dad just
ask the question.
It has to be math.
Man, that's good. So you're good with numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Numbers will take you very far.
So what do you want to be when you grow up? What's your dream?
Definitely baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
That's that much love. That's awesome.
Yeah. So you're taking it very seriously.
Yeah. I take it seriously. I take it serious enough. My dad makes me do it a lot.
How often do you practice?
Probably like 4 to 5, 3 times a week.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, you're grinding in there. You're putting some work.
But winter, I kind of stop because it's cold, and especially winter time, like when you're hitting, it kind of like hurts your hands when you make that contact.
Yeah,
it's so cold outside.
Right. So do you pitch?
Yeah, I do pitch.
So which part do you feel you better at, pitching or hitting?
Definitely hitting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you do some home runs.
That's why you got this big hit Zoe chain.
Okay, all right.
But he's actually good. He pitched this past Sunday. He got 3 scoreless innings, so they didn't score off him. So he struck out like 5 players. So he's good at pitching too.
So you do cardio?
Cardio. My favorite cardio is probably bike riding.
Oh, bike riding. Okay, yeah. That's what's up.
You do push-ups?
Yeah.
Push-ups and everything?
How many push-ups you can do?
Probably, I think I can do like 60.
60 at one time?
Cap.
50.
The most he did at one time.
61 hand.
61 hand.
My turn.
Okay, all right. You won, but we're not gonna sit there and cap though, bro. I'll let you talk, but you're not gonna cap.
Okay. All right. I think I can do like 40 or 50 probably.
At one time without stopping, Lorenzo. That's what they're asking you.
Yes. Yes, that's what I think.
He's like, watch, go.
20. No, he did. So we went to a baseball game. We went to a baseball game, and then he battled with the minor league game, and he battled with the
Dad,
what do you call it?
My turn?
Okay, but we're not gonna lie though, bro.
Yes,
we're not gonna do that.
please.
Okay, you did 20. The most I ever seen you do was 20. You did that because everybody was watching. Your team was there, and you battled a mascot, and you did 20, and you was like out of breath.
It's like this, right? Down, up, one.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
You answered it. You lied, bro. So I told you the truth. You know we don't lie, bro. I'm Mr. 100. I can't. If I'm Mr. 100, you gotta. You can't be Mr. 50, bro. You gotta keep it 100%. All right, go ahead. Tell the truth, though, bro.
Okay. I think I can do like 30.
30?
I'll say that.
I'll give you a little. I'll meet you halfway.
That's good.
So
I know my cap is by 25 at a time.
Okay, so the answer to the question about 5 minutes ago, since my dad stepped in, when I'm at the plate, I feel like one part of me says that I want to be at that plate to get a hit, but at the same time, I just want to get back on that diamond.
Okay, all right. Nice. All right. So, what's up with these acting and everything? How do you feel in acting, and how do you what's your next step, or what are you looking at in acting? What's your next move?
Talk here, bro. Scoot up and talk. Yeah. There you go.
So probably my next look in acting. It's fun to me.
Talking to Mike.
It's fun. It's fun. It's like it's a side hustle for me.
Okay.
It's it's fun for me when I do my commercials. It's like you have to put extra work. You have to do extra sometimes if they want you to improv. It's there's a lot to the industry.
Okay.
So do you have to learn this script? Is this something you have to memorize? Do you have to?
My dad, he has spice to it. He wants me to read every action and on the script.
Yeah. What's your favorite? So what's the thing? What's your favorite thing you ever done in acting? What was that experience? Commercial, movie?
I want to be in a movie. I've been working on doing some auditions, but I haven't been getting that job. And I know I will soon, but I think probably, my Amazon commercial, that definitely took a lot of time. It was tiring. I had to jump on that bed. My legs got tired.
You had to jump on a bed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So that was the commercial, you jumping on a bed?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So then you would jump on the bed. So that was one of your biggest, commercial you've done in Amazon. That took a lot of your energy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Lorenzo, you got when they ask you questions, bro, you gotta be real, bro. He has 2 commercials on TV right now. One of them, he's actually talking. He's the star of the commercial.
Okay.
It comes on normal TV, comes on cable. You go to the gas station, you'll see that commercial. That's his biggest commercial. I don't know why you're talking about Amazon. It's a Les Schwab commercial.
What?
Les Schwab.
Okay.
It's a Les Schwab commercial. Yeah, that's his biggest commercial. Listen to what they're asking you, bro, and then answer. Bro. Let you speak, but I shouldn't have to go behind you, bro. Your Les Schwab commercial is a commercial, and then
so there's the Amazon though.
The Amazon commercial, he just jumping on the bed. He's like
hey, I tell you what, I bet you were having a lot of fun in the Amazon.
Yeah.
I bet you were jumping around that bed. I remember when I was 6 years old, jumping on the bed for me was like, man, I'm just having fun.
I never got to jump on the bed for Amazon.
Hey, you know what? 6 years old, jumping on the bed and Amazon, man, I give you 100% on that. 6 years old, I couldn't even jump on a Kmart bed.
I would have an Amazon chain.
Yes.
Amazon chain.
Hey, but I tell you what, you're enjoying it. The fun thing,
Yeah,
the
that's
good
cool.
thing about it is you have fun.
Yeah.
When you have fun and you enjoy what you're doing, just have fun with it. And if you like jumping on the bed, jump on the bed. If you like to talk to people, talk to people.
Yeah.
Just the number one key here, and I can tell this to anybody, is if you're gonna get into something, have fun in it.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the process. And I would repeat myself.
That's your
1
motto.
billion
Man,
times.
we just
man.
having fun.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
I do that.
I'm the opposite. Everything's really, really good. Everything is better to be perfect. Everything is.
Oh
perfect.
no, man!
Because when you take the fun out of it,
Yeah.
it just makes it not cool no more.
It's like
Right.
this: 6-year-old. A 6-year-old is gonna have fun. A 5-year-old is gonna have fun. A 7-year-old is gonna have fun. Sometimes when we get old, when we get to a certain age, we forget the funness.
Yeah, start
Yeah.
being
Fun
too
part.
serious.
We get too serious, too
Yeah.
cold, too like just square, and you have to always go back and say, hey, you know what? I remember when I was 6 years old. I was having fun. Have fun, man. That's good, man. You're enjoying it. You didn't go very far.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, man. So what's next for y'all?
For us, man, just raising him basically and managing his career, managing his life.
So that's
And-
pretty much your career is managing him.
Nah, I'm an actor. I got a McDonald's commercial that was just airing, and I also do music. I do music. I don't say Christian music, but it's uplifting music.
Right.
It's godly music.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I do that too. So I got a lot going on myself, but it's tiring. I couldn't have a day job, man, because I do so much. You know what I mean? So luckily, between our acting, both our commercials and our acting career, I'm able to fund some of the things that we do. But like he said, acting for him, he loves the attention, he loves the booking, he loves being on TV and people say, I saw you. He loves that part of it. But the actual hard work that it takes, he doesn't. I'm not gonna say he doesn't enjoy it, but he wish he didn't have to do it because he wanted to be a kid. But his acting pays for his baseball. That's why he said this is secondary. Acting is secondary, and he just bought like 3 gloves, $250 each. Real high price gloves that everybody got, the major leaguers got. But he paid for that himself with his acting. So that's why he acts. He knows if he acts, he can buy whatever he wants. So that's one thing I'm teaching him. You work hard.
Showing entrepreneurship.
You work hard. You work hard, make the money. You can do whatever you want to do with the money. So it's like, even though I don't think you need 3 gloves, but if you want it, it's your money. Just when you run out, don't come to me like, what you spend your money on? You spend on baseball.
Yeah.
He got like 15 baseball bats. A lot of them are $300. He got everything that he want, because baseball is his dream. He want to play for the Dodgers, so he put in the time. A lot of the money he make from acting, it goes to his baseball tournaments, all these different things. So he funds his own. I mean, I spend money too on him, but the things that he don't need, that he wants, it comes out of his
Things that
pocket.
he should earn.
Yeah.
You're already making money in a young age.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
I tell my son that I say the things that you want, you should work for them, and the things you need, I'll get.
Exactly, and that's how it is. The things that he want.
You need to inspire them too in there.
I have a son. You need to inspire him. I need to talk to him. After this song, you need to talk to him.
Mason, talk to him.
So does he have social media, anything, TikTok and all that?
He has an Instagram page. Okay. He got a nice following, and we have a TikTok together, Instagram together. We got accounts together on all social platforms. But he has his own Instagram. I don't let him talk or comment. Yeah. But he has an account that he has access to on his phone where he can look at baseball stuff and his teammates and stuff. He has his own Instagram. He be on his Instagram, but he just don't.
Did you start at Twitch or anything like that?
I don't have a Twitch actually.
My son's on something. He started gaming, and I got to set up a whole thing for him, and he's like gaming live, and I don't know if it's Twitch or I don't know what it is. Streaming? Yeah. I don't know. But apparently, the only thing I know is a lot of people want to watch other people game.
Right.
Like, we're not playing the games anymore. We want to watch the person playing the game.
Playing the game.
So tell them what's y'all on social media and everything.
Yeah.
Tell me your social media.
You go ahead since you're gonna steal my
His Instagram is the real Lorenzo Ross. TheRealLorenzo Ross. And then mine is Leon Ross 100 Leon Ross Onehunnt.
Yeah, okay. So look, do y'all? I see y'all got this type of bond. It's almost like I feel like with my son, sometimes I feel like we just roommates. Like that's my little brother or something like. But I see y'all kind of got that type of bond. Like, how do you handle them as far as like discipline? Do y'all have any problems with discipline or whatever?
It's tough sometimes, man, because I do we are so tight.
Right.
We are best friends.
Yeah.
And we do have brotherly vibes a lot of times.
Right.
So sometimes he might straddle the line a little bit.
Yeah.
And it'd be hard to discipline him because we are so tight.
Right.
But at the same time, our communication is A1. So if you feel in a certain way, you know what I'm saying, he'll tell me, you know what I mean, and we kind of navigate from there. But it's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, life is great. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't keep nothing from him. You know, how you asked me earlier, like, I don't keep nothing from him. Like, you know, I'll be fully transparent with him about everything. And then, you looking at me, I keep things from you?
You kept my questions from me?
It's like, now you're capping.
All right, well, I'm going to ask you a question.
Thank you. Please stay.
Okay, bro. Okay.
That's it. I have a question. All right.
He's ready for the question. He's like, in his hat ready.
All right. So, you said you're playing baseball, right? Mm-hmm. And you said you want to be a
Major League
Baseball for the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And what would you recommend? What advice would you give a 9-year-old kid listening to this?
Like
advice, anything that's probably in your mind, whatever you're thinking. What advice would you give a 9-year-old?
What should a 9-year-old that's your age be doing right now?
I'll answer that one.
I'm
kidding.
You want him to go in the other room?
Yeah, but I think baseball, it's all about really having fun. Yeah, it's like a lot of parents force their kids to play the sport because, like, hey Josh, I play this sport, I want you to go try out for a team or something, but just have fun. That's it.
Just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can share to a 9-year-old or 8-year-old or a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old that's listening to this. Just have fun.
And how do they get better?
It's fun. Like it's coaches. Coaches will help you get there. They'll help you with your fundamentals, like middle infield double plays. There's a lot of things that coaches can teach you. And they'll take you like hitting coaches, pitching coaches, first base coach, a third base coach. Like you're gonna have that stuff when you get older, so they'll teach you all of that stuff.
Tell them what you do though. What do you do? How do you learn?
Yeah, what do you do?
On your own time.
I will watch some videos. I like to watch Major League Baseball players. It's fun just watching them like turning double plays, how they get to off speed pitches. I look into all of that stuff.
Who was your favorite player?
Chris Taylor.
Chris Taylor. Who he play for?
Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers. So
He's
you all the way
Dodger. He's a Dodger.
Have you met him?
So you don't be going for the Astros?
I gotta. No.
They've been winning.
You're
the Astros
in
win?
Houston, bro. You can't say no like that, bro. They're Houstonians.
We're Histonian, but no.
I think the Astros just won, didn't they?
I don't
Man, they
know.
won the World Series.
I've not yet.
They still had a chance if it wasn't for Dave Roberts.
Sam, he's about to school you, Sam. He's about to school you.
So he's the one yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very passionate.
So yeah, you gotta catch your Astros game while you're out here.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
You want to
man.
study the winners. H-Town is the winners.
So you're gonna be a Dodger, professional major league, right? Major league. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna
Get your autograph before you go.
To be brutally honest, the Dodgers have the best record in all of Major League Baseball.
Okay, you schooling me? I don't know. I just know Houston won.
He's gonna be the next one of the major professional baseball player, famous.
Yes.
Sir.
It's gonna happen.
Yes, sir.
I'm in
It's already written in the
agreement.
book.
I'm in agreement.
Yes, sir.
So
I'm
Leon,
gonna
what's
get your autograph before you leave.
I got a Chris Taylor autograph. They didn't show me. He threw me under the bus a couple days ago in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably the only one that didn't get an autograph. I was in the front, so like my teammates got one, but I was standing right there at the end, yelling the whole time.
See, now when you're a Major League Baseball player, you got to remember that. So when you're signing out there and going and signing autographs, you got to make sure you do put a kid in your position.
Yeah.
Oh, when you're there, I'll remember when I'm older.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm like, hey, I need an autograph. All right, it's good. All right, so overall everything. Hey man, thank you for being part of this
Yes.
It's Time podcast and everything. And it was an honor for you guys coming from California, from LA, right?
Yes, sir.
I know that putting you as being a part of this, our guests and everything. It's a very great honor, and do apologize about the delay of the flight.
Yeah,
It's
a little
But
bit.
overall,
was
everything.
terrible.
I know, man.
Because it was an hour
man.
delay, but it's Sam's fault.
But overall, everything. Hey, man. Thank you for coming. And
Appreciate
Thanks for
that.
having us, man.
guys, again, it's Time Podcast.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.